All right, wacky hair night. Let's go. All right, so our devotion tonight is not defeated. Every child of God defeats this evil world, and we achieve this victory through our faith. 1 John 5:4. Lord, your victory is assured. I cling to this hope in the face of my own defeat. Your power and your great love for me are all that keep me going some days. As life beats me down, tells me no, and hands my victories to someone else, Father, hold me tight and speak to me again. I need to hear it. It's hard not to give up when failure heaps upon loss and loss piles upon disappointment. Remind me of your goodness and restore my faith in the bounce back. Lord, it may not feel like it today, but the victory is already won. I may be down, but I am not defeated. Tomorrow is coming, and tomorrow I win. As tomorrow comes, do you believe that you have the victory? I thought that was so stinking good. I bought this little book. It's called 365 Days of Prayer for Women at the grocery store for $12. That's a little much, but it's been the cutest book. And it's like a leather. Anyways, it's really cute. So always check the grocery store because you never know. You might find a little devotional that'll help you. All right. So hope you found some value in that tonight. Let's get down to business. All right. Tomorrow, Mel and I and our husbands are headed to Nashville, Tennessee. And we are going on the hold on here a minute. If you're not muted, can you mute for me? I just want to make sure it's not on the recording. So anyways, we're headed to Nashville for a road rally. We're so excited. I'm telling you guys, it's been like this for me this week with everything. But if you look at my page, you can see the consistency of my work. So I still get my work in, even though my daughter had surgery today. I was in Charlotte. 4 hours in the car and taking care of my mom. We went to my mom's house. We had to go to the rehab facility. Like everything's been going crazy this week. We leave tomorrow. I'm still doing laundry. You can still do this business and have the craziest things happen, right? And so that's the awesomeness of this business. So I want to encourage you, you're not defeated. You can do this business. You can be consistent and you can win in this business, even when the world is crazy today, especially, right? So, we have the unknown, but we know what we can do. And what we can do is just focus on our business, because you can get all caught up in the craziness of the world and what's going on, right? Or you can focus on something else that's going to help you right now. And so we don't know, we have the unknown, right? But we know our future, right? We know whose we are. And so no matter what happens in the world, we have that hope of the Lord and our eternal hope. So, okay, get off my spiritual, as my mom says, my little sermons. Okay, so one thing I just wanted to drop real quick. If you are on a Zoom and you take this is just a side note, something kind of off the wall. If you take a picture of somebody, or if you take a picture like tonight, okay, you're taking a picture and you're like, I just love our team, whatever. That's wonderful. We love it when you do that. We love it when you tag us. Just tag us. Okay. Tag people. It'll help you if other people tag you, because you can put that on your story and you can say, hey, look at my awesome team. We have wacky hair night and, whatever. So just make sure that you are definitely doing that. Okay. So that's just a side note, just an extra. So, what I want to talk about, there's two things I want to talk about tonight. One is adding friends. Okay, we talk about adding to our network all the time. But what I want to talk to you about is the broad picture. Okay. If you have, like when I joined this business, I had 200 friends. Mainly, the majority of those were family. This business, I want you to think about as a brick and mortar store. Your social media account is your storefront. Okay. If you opened a consignment shop tomorrow, okay, what would you do to get people into your store? You would want to get the word out, right? You would want to scream it from the platform. You want to put advertisements all over the town. You want to, put it in bulletins at churches and, just things like that. So that's just off the top of my head, but I'm just saying, like, you want to use your business, like your social media account. You want to think of it not as a family platform anymore. You want to think of it as your brick and mortar store. So that doesn't mean you stop sharing your life. People buy you before they buy anything else we have, including the opportunity. They fall in love with you. Okay. So you never want to change that. But when you're adding to your network, you want to make sure that you're adding people all the time. And you can get, like, you can go from 200 to 5,000. Facebook has a stop on 5,000 friends. So I want you to look tonight and see how many friends do you have? And I want you to drop it in the chat. Okay. So put it in the chat. How many friends do you have on Facebook? Okay. And then what I want you to do with that is I want you to think about, okay, so if I only had 200 people come into my, if I only had 200 people come into my store, but I could have 5,000 people come into my store, what would I do? How would I get them there? Well, guess what? You can add more people every day. You can add more people every day. You can add too many people a day, though. And so you have to be careful about how many you add, but you want to be strategic, but not too strategic. Okay. So somebody who I've been working with hand in hand is Bridget on this. And last week, wasn't it last week, you had over 100 people that you became friends with. 100 people. Oh shoot. Let me shut my door. Hang on. Okay. So my dog's barking and my son just got home from work. So 100 people, like, way to go, Bridget. That's amazing. So she worked really, really hard to get to that point. So I don't suggest adding like over 15, 20 people a day, because it can, Facebook can tag you and you can't see these. But what I will tell you is, if you go on Facebook and you go to the suggested friends, like if you scroll down a certain amount of times, it's going to show you suggested friends. Okay. Those suggested friends normally have somebody in contact with you, like that are mutual friends. So you want to make sure it's not anybody from the team, but you want to add those people, because if they have somebody that is mutual friends with you, the chances of them of adding you is huge. Okay. So for an example, just side note, she don't even know I'm gonna say this, but Mel asked her daughter about adding friends and things. And she said, yeah, I don't add anybody unless I have at least 8 people that I'm friends with, mutual friends with. And so this is somebody that has nothing to do with our business. I mean, she knows about this, but she doesn't work the business. She doesn't have an account. She's not old enough yet, all the things. And so, you just want to think about that when you are adding to your network, because the more mutual friends that you have, the chances are people will add you if you're just doing it that way. Now, if you're adding for host to post, so let's say you get a host to post up and it blows up. Let's say you get 10 comments. Well, you want to add those people to your page because, one, if they don't answer you, they want to see what you're about. Two, if they do answer you, they want to know what it is you do. Okay, people are nosy. They want to know what's up, right? So if you're in a host to post with somebody and maybe they say no, okay, maybe you have a conversation with them about gummies and they say no. Well, guess what? You're going to post about gummies again next week. They're going to be on your page. They're going to see, does she use the gummies? Does she have results with the gummies? What results is she seeing with the gummies? Maybe I do want the gummies. Maybe I don't want the gummies. Maybe I want the TFX. Whatever you're posting about, that's what they're going to see, right? So you want to make sure that you're adding those people to your network. So that's two things that, will help you add. But if you have under, I would say if you have under 4,000 friends, you need to be adding to your network every day. Okay. And you need to be adding at least 10 to 20 people, asking them to be your friend because you want to grow that brick and mortar store. Okay. All right. Moving along. Way to go, Bridget. I'm proud of you. Okay. So, next week, I want to announce this before I go into the last thing I want to talk about. Next week, we are going to have a special Zoom. Okay, it's going to be a little bit longer than 30 minutes, so be prepared for that now. Make plans now. We are going to talk about what we learned at conference. And so Bridget and Jen both went last weekend to the Road Rally with, it's the second conference, I guess, is Road Rally. And they got to hang out with Kyler, Pentecost, and the whole new regional sales teams. Okay. And so the company's making changes and we're doing all these things. And so we want to make sure that you guys hear from us when we go to events, and then we want you to start going to events with us. Okay. So we want to start talking about that. So next week, the four of us are going to just kind of, figure out what it is that we learned best and what can help our team the most. And we're going to go over that together. Okay. So make plans to be there. We're excited about it. And it won't just be me and Mel. It'll be Jen and Bridget too. Okay. So let's do that. All right. So this is a fun topic for me because I love it. Okay. So what I want to talk about tonight real quick is about taking your photos. Okay. Now, there's a couple things that I've learned personally, and it just took me time. I literally had to teach myself. Okay. So that's why I want to talk to you about it, because it's easier to learn about it than to teach yourself. So I want to teach you. Okay. When you are taking a photo of yourself, a selfie, one thing that will help you if you take multiple. Okay, don't just take one, take multiple pictures. Okay, then go back and look at all of them, because you might think it turned out one way and it may not have. And then you're down the road and you're like, oh crap, I need that selfie. And then it ain't what you wanted it to be, right? So make sure you take several. Second thing is how you position your camera. Okay, so if you take a picture and you do like, let me see, if you do like, it helps if I turn the camera on, you do like this, or you take it from down here. Okay, what's it gonna look like? It's gonna look like a blank picture if I don't show you what it looks like, right? Okay. But if you take a picture like from up here, then what does that look like? If I turn it around, you might be able to see it. What does that look like? Okay. So it's all about the angle in your camera. Okay. Number one, that's your first thing, is your angle. So you don't want to show the double chin. You don't want to show the zits if you can help it. You don't want to show, like, a lot of times, like, I have really bad eczema right now under my eyes, and sometimes my pictures look like trash because of that. So I try to do everything I can to like get in the right lighting because the right lighting is key to making the best pictures. So outside is the best, hands down, every time outside's the best. Second best is using like a ring light, okay, because then that brings in light. If you don't have a ring light, they have some really inexpensive ones on Amazon. And so yeah, girl, eczema, oh gosh, I have it on my hand. It's awful right now. Okay, so using a ring light is huge because it gives you a different light, and depending on how much you spend on one, my husband bought me a really expensive one, and it has different colors of light in it. So I can take, you know, different places. It looks differently in my house. So like in this room, this is my office. In this room, I use a bright light because it's not real bright in here. But downstairs where the sunlight comes in, I don't need that bright of a light. Okay. So, and if you can't go outside and you don't have a ring light, it's not mandatory, anything like that. I'm just trying to give you a little bit of tips on how to make the best pictures. Okay. So, if you can get in the sunlight, like even by a window, like that's really good too. Okay. Don't use filters like on, well, let's just talk about filters. Okay. If you use filters on, let's say, I'm trying to think, haven't had Snapchat in a really long time, but I know they had some filters on there that make it kind of fuzzy. Okay. You don't want those. You want clear, bright photos. Okay. Like if you look, well, if you look at my page, you can pretty much see, like, if you go way back, you can see like I wasn't as good at it as I am now. So you know, you have to play around with it and get the right thing, but you want bright, clear photos. If you use a Photoshop type thing, I highly recommend Lightroom because you can use the free, that's a free app. You can pay for some of the stuff in the app, but you don't have to. And it gives you a clear picture, but it changes it just a little bit. You can add, oh, what do you call those things you buy on Pinterest? Anyways, I can't think of the name. Anyways, you can add more, and they're only a couple dollars to Lightroom, like different types of editing that you can use.
Like presets.
Thank you. Presets. And so that's something you can do as well. So I wouldn't, so okay, so backing up a little bit, I wouldn't use like presets or filters that are on anything but probably Instagram, because most of those work really well. Even the ones on TikTok, they're awful. Some of them are awful. I don't know. I try to mess with them sometimes because I'm like, man, I just look like a hot mess, you know, and I'm on there trying to be as authentic as I can. But, you know, changing your filter, especially when you're talking about the business, is huge because people are going to stop and look at your photo if it's bright and clear more than if it's just a fuzzy picture or not a picture of you even. Okay. Unless it's a quote or something catchy like that. So those are just some things that I've used, and it's helped me a lot. It's helped the interaction on my page. It's helped people come into the business because they get stopped by my post and then they'll read it. Okay, by my picture, and then they'll read my post. So those are just some tips that I like to use. So make sure that you're, you know, positioning your camera, even if you like even if you're just moving around like this till you get the right thing. That's what I do too. Like I'll be in my kitchen, I'm like, oh no, this is awful, and then I'll get, you know, just right, perfect, and then it'll look better. Okay. So also, you know, for me, I have this awfulness right here, and so if you move your camera hand up when you're taking a selfie, it doesn't show all of that, right? So it's just how you do, just play around with it. You guys have done nothing wrong with what you've done so far. I'm just trying to give you a little bit of tips. Okay. All right. So let me make sure I check my notes. You know how I am. I have to have a list to make sure I got everything. All right. So if you see somebody that's not on here that normally is on here, make sure and tell them to jump on next week and to plan a little bit longer. Okay. And because we really want to just talk about that. If you've never been to a corporate event, this is something that since I've joined, I've not missed a corporate event. And so it is by far one of my favorite things because people, you never know who you're going to relate to, and you don't know what's going to bless you and what you need at the time. Okay. So if you can ever go to a corporate event, do it. Do it. It's so worth it. It's so worth it. Okay. All right. So I think I got everything. Okay. So I think that was it. Let me just make sure I told you. I know I told you about Lightroom. Oh, I also use, sometimes I'll use Photo Room. And what you can do with that is you can, are you talking junk about me? Hold on, I gotta check the chat. Okay, so Photo Room you can use to take the background out of your photos. Okay, so if like on our stories, this is what I use for that. On our stories, like if you have just a blank piece of, blank story and you're wanting to put something about the gummies or the cleanse or even just an opportunity story, use that app, take the background out, and then you can just use that on you can add it to your photo. And I always use Instagram for that, you guys. That is the simplest way to make stories for me. I also use Canva and Bizart. Bizart is my favorite, like over Canva. I know some of y'all love Canva, but Bizart is so much simpler. And it does cost, but it's only like, well, there's a lot of free on there that I've used the whole time, except recently my husband bought me like a month just to see what the premium whatever is, and it was like $10, I think. So anyways, Bizart's one of my favorites. All right, so the winner for tonight's hair is going to be Dash. Woo! I love the colors. You did so good. All right, so if there's, do you guys have any questions I can answer? Let me make sure there's something. Yeah, Bazart. Yep, that's right. And it's like a pink bee. And all right, is there any other questions? All right, I hope you guys had some fun tonight. That is the key to meeting and getting together. It's not only learning, but having fun. Because if you're not having fun, then what are you doing, right? We need to be making money and having fun, right? So, all right, I'm looking forward to next week. I can't wait to talk about it because I already know it's going to be bomb. And I can't wait to just to chat about, like, you guys. I was on a leadership Zoom today and it was amazing. Like, I'm so pumped for our future with this company and the changes that are coming and all the things, because we've only made it to the brink. Okay. We've only made it to the brink. We haven't made it there yet. There's a lot of work to do, but I'm telling you, if you just keep your focus on the things that matter, and my voice is going crazy, we are going to bomb. Like, we are going to really make a lot of money this year. And I'm so excited about it because it's going to just, really bless our families and be able to bless others, because you guys, that's what this is all about. So I'm so excited. So excited. All right. Have a wonderful night. If you need anything, please do not hesitate. You know, I'm here for you. I got your back. And I can't wait to see what your numbers look like when you start adding more and more and more to your network. All right. Have a good night. Bye, guys.